All right, recording again. There's Miss Mama Kitty up on the tree. All right, guys. Hey, everybody, we're heading back. Hello again. There's Mama Kitty behind me, I think. Yeah. So we're just gonna walk on back to the house, going around the loop. I'm looking at the camera, trying to. All right. This. I'll let it be a first-person point of view. Let's see if the cats are coming. Luca, Mama Kitty, come on. They coming? Shoot. Oh, blackberries are going to be coming out soon. We need some rain. Yeah. If we don't get enough rain, we don't get good blackberries. Where are the cats at? Come on, Luca, Mama Kitty. Come on. Okay. Well, we're heading back. So, about our field, it was all mowed, about 6 acres out here. Wendy's mom has horses, and a farmer down the road would cut and roll our field, and then he'd do it for free because he'd take half of it and then he'd take the other half of the grass to Wendy's mom's. But he passed away a few years back, well, quite a few years back, and then they sold 100 acres across the road from us. And let me see if you can see that light pole. Just maybe 50 feet beyond it is the road. So on this direction, on the other side of the road, the land got sold, and it was all just fields and woods. So developers cleared out a ton of trees, which was awful. And they started, luckily they didn't build a ton of houses, but they split 100 acres into 16 tracts. So we got 5 houses built across the street that used to be nothing. So we decided we're just going to let all our land grow and grow a barrier between us and the road and just let nature take over. So all this growth around me has happened in 6 years, I think. 5 or 6 years. And I love it. One of the cats just ran off in there. So I keep a path mowed, and then I'll take the cats for a walk in the mornings, or whenever I walk out here, the cats follow. But of course the camera's out, they're not doing anything. I don't even see them. So anyway, this is the path heading back to the house. And let me think, is there anything I'm going to talk about? Let me come back and see if the cats are around. Okay, so I'm still on the catwalk. Oh, I see one of them. Here, let me spin the camera around. They're hiding from the camera for some reason. Luca, you see him back there? Yeah, sneaky. Okay, so this is what I was going to talk about. We're going to talk about the music shed. I keep forgetting what I'm going to start calling it. The fuzz shed, or because I love fuzz pedals. Fuzz guitar is cool, but I love all distortion pedals. So anyway, the shed came about because, so our house is pretty small. There's 3 of us living there. It's probably 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms. So it doesn't have much closet space. So I didn't really have anywhere outside to keep tools, lawnmowers and stuff like that. And I was looking at, I needed a shed, but those ones, you get from Home Depot and stuff. Oh, here comes Luca. Let's get the cats real quick. Come on, buddy. Come on, Luca, don't get left behind. Show off for the camera, buddy. Look at that. Good job. Good job. All right, Mama Kitty, she's leading the way. Okay. So I need a shed. And at the time I was working at a warehouse doing the jail commissary, and we'd have 20 pallets a week we'd give to the pallet guy to go sell. So I thought, well, I can make a shed out of pallets. I got all this free wood. And I looked at some videos on how to make a shed out of pallets. And I don't have much or any building experience, but the videos, I was just like, man, that looks too complicated, too much, all this measuring, remeasuring. And I just like, screw it, I'm just gonna make it up as I go. So I kind of came up with my own plan, because it was like the plans I saw online just seemed too complicated. And I was thinking, it can't be that complicated. So we'll post some pictures of some of the building of it. But I ended up, going almost manic, because I was working on my days off from dawn till after dark working on it. And then the days I was working, as soon as I got home from work, I was out there. I could hardly sleep. I was so obsessed with getting it done. But it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I ended up building this shed out of pallets, and it worked out pretty good. It cost me more than I expected. I think I ended up being around $400, because I did have to buy some materials. I used the pallets as much as I could. And I got this thing called a pallet buster. It's a pry bar to pry them apart. So if you're ever deciding to do anything out of pallets, that was a big, worthwhile investment. So anyway, so I built this shed out of pallets, and it was a tool shed for most of its life. And then early this past summer, I was at home a lot more and had more time than I'd had ever since living here, after my mom had passed. And I decided if I could, at first it was just make a space, and I'd bring guitar stuff out here to play and then take it back in, because it's awful humid and all that. But slowly it progressed to what is now, where I totally gutted it, and then I put up carpet. We had some old carpet that came from my mom's, just anything from the junkyard, the dump. I took some stuff because the guy at the dump lets me take stuff because people, they throw away some good materials. So, and I bought some packing blankets because they were cheap and pretty good insulation for noise, as well as, keeping the temperatures up. And from the house, I ran an outdoor extension cord to it. And long story short, with little tweaks and stuff, I made the pallet shed. So let me introduce you to the pallet shed. Okay. All right. So that's the side of the shed. That was a pain in the butt. Just getting because all the pieces were different widths. So I'd have to big piles of certain widths to try and piece them together to do the sides. But I was pretty proud of it. So that's the front. The windows, I saw somebody on Craigslist selling windows for $10 a piece, that their husband was a contractor and just had all these windows, and they just started selling them. So I picked out a couple windows, cut them in, and put the roof on, and I only had one point where it was leaking, and I fixed that. And it's somehow held together and it's done good. But now, see right there now, I've got a portable AC in there. So that's where it's coming out. So the windows are pretty much covered now. And then on the inside, here we go. Right here.